Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Doing my happy dance. This is our favorite day of the year here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club. This is Doors Open. This is the new enrollment period where we accept new members into our signature program, Actors Audition Club. Today is the day we open the doors. They are open just this week until Thursday at midnight. And I promised everyone who had a fantastic week last week with our Audition Hero training series that I would hop on a bonus live today to talk a little bit more in detail about Actors Audition Club, specifically who it's for, what the program will do for you, and how to get in. So buckle up. We got a great little live here for you. We're also going to do some Q&A. I know many of you have questions. Some of you have known me for years and years and years, and we worked together on projects, or we've helped you audition for big roles. Others, maybe you're brand new to Laughing Vikings and you're brand new to Actors Audition Club. So you're still wondering, who the heck is this guy and what's this Actors Audition Club all about? What's it going to do for me? How do I get involved? How do I get enrolled? So you are in the right place today. We're going to go maybe half hour, 45 minutes to an hour max. Make sure in the comments, let us know what city you're watching from. And also, I love to know what your dream project or dream role is. So let us know in the comments what your dream role is, where you're tuning in from, and save the questions till the end. I'll let you guys know we're going to have a Q&A. So any details of the program, who it's for, what it will do for you, how it works, what the investment is, the process, all of that. I'm going to answer all of those today. So save the questions till the end because many of those questions are going to be answered throughout the live. Also, while I'm going over all the info, if you're asking questions in the comments throughout, I may miss them. So just save those questions till the very end. I'll be sure to answer all those questions. If by chance I don't get to your question today, make sure to hop into the Audition Hero Facebook group and I'll follow up directly with you. And some of you may even want a one-on-one where we can hop on a Zoom call if you have something specific. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I love this day. I want to congratulate and give a shout out to our first new member. Scott McCulloch was the first one. He's a fantastic actor, theater, TV, film. I actually just helped him with a super funny audition yesterday via Zoom. He's based in Toronto, but we work with actors all over the world. Thanks to the pandemic and thanks to Zoom, we're able to connect remotely and virtually with people. So no matter where you're watching from in the world, Actors Audition Club is for you. So let's talk about it. Let's just jump right in. I want to share with you who exactly is Actors Audition Club for. And I'm going to share in my little journal here. Shout out to BK Broiler, Brandon Knox, one of our session directors, fantastic actor. This, I believe, was my Christmas present. And this is my little journal. It says, every morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most, by your good old buddy, the Buddha. And so that's very, very significant for today because every day is a new day and you never know what's going to happen. And for many of you who are joining Actors Audition Club with us this year, this is going to be the beginning of a new audition life for you. So let's talk a little bit about, I've got some notes in here about exactly who this program is for. And these notes are based on hundreds of conversations with our current clients. We've helped hundreds of actors record thousands of auditions for television, film, theater, video games, also to qualify and get into showcases, to also land an agent where they had to record an audition or a monologue. So in working over the last 5 years with these actors, we've got some intimate behind the scenes knowledge of the problems and struggles that actors are going through when it comes to self-tape auditions and exactly how we can help them. So this is going to address some of that. So for those of you watching, I know some of you have had 20, 30, 40-year careers in the business, very successful booking lead roles in television and film, and lead roles on theater on stage. Some of you may be brand new, where you're just looking to break in the industry. Maybe you've just graduated from a television and film school or a theater school, or maybe you didn't go through formal training yet, and you've just always had this dream and this passion of being a performer, and you're looking to break into the industry. So either way, whether you're an industry vet or brand new, Actors Audition Club has something for all of you. So I just want to go through some of these notes here. if you're a person maybe that you're having stress and anxiety from your auditions, if your audition process is not fun, our acting mentor Tom Todoroff always says it's called a play. It's not called the serious. It's called a play. It's supposed to be fun. Acting and performing is supposed to be an imaginative make-believe game that you used to do when you were kids, playing in the playground, playing in the sandbox with your friends. And one of the brilliant things about being an actor is we get to do that as adults. But a lot of people, because of the business, there's a lot of stress and anxieties. So if every time you get an audition request from your agent, it causes stress and anxiety, then Actors Audition Club may be for you. This reminds me of Jeff Foxworthy, the comedian. Like, you might be a redneck if. So Actors Audition Club might be for you if maybe you're feeling that you're not getting enough auditions. We can help with that. Maybe you're not knowing how to record those or where to record those. Maybe you don't know exactly what a professional casting company or production is looking for in your audition. Maybe you're not booking enough roles. Maybe you're having tons of auditions, whether or not you have an agent, you're submitting for tons of roles, but something's not quite clicking. Then Actors Audition Club may be for you. Maybe you're bugging family and friends. Every time you get an audition, you have to figure out who in your family is going to be a reader, who's going to operate the camera, who's going to read the other lines with you. And if your family member or spouse or kids or neighbor, whoever you're using, is not a professionally trained actor or someone who's a professional in the TV film industry, then you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table by trying to do something professional without professional help. Maybe you're missing deadlines. That's a big one. Maybe you're getting these big opportunities from an agent, or you're finding these opportunities, but opportunities are slipping by you because you're missing those deadlines. Often in TV and film, the deadlines can be very last minute. You can get an audition request that's like for end of day today or first thing in the morning. And if you don't have a professional system and process in how to rehearse and record your professional auditions and how to get them submitted on time, you may be missing opportunities of a lifetime each and every week, which is not something that you want to be doing. What else? Maybe every time you have to do an audition, you're constantly scrambling last minute, rearranging your house, moving furniture, taking paintings off the wall, trying to figure out the drapes and moving lamps and moving your kitchen around to try and figure out where you're actually going to do this. If that's you and any of this sounds familiar, then Actors Audition Club may be for you. What else might be you thinking? Specifically, some of the thoughts and having so many conversations with actors about their audition process. Again, we've got a real intimate knowledge of the struggles and frustrations that you face. So maybe you're thinking that your auditions are just taking too much time. Maybe you're doing a great job and you're submitting quality work, but if you're doing it yourself, you may be taking an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours, where recording an audition is an all-day event, or it's taking your entire morning or your entire afternoon, and your time is money. So if you're spending that much time and you're using an entire afternoon, then you are leaving some money on the table. Maybe it's causing stress. So you're thinking, oh man, do I want to ask I don't mean internal stress. I actually mean stress in your personal relationships. A lot of times people are asking a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife to record their auditions and to help them. And that can be very stressful because you end up having your relationship issues seep into your professional audition issues, and it can become very blurry. Some of those lines, like, are you getting audition help, or are you getting relationship smack from your partner? And you don't want stress and anxiety in your personal relationships. Being an actor and being a performer is a challenging enough road, so you don't want to cause tension in your at-home relationships. Maybe you're thinking that your agent isn't happy with your auditions. Maybe your agent specifically, like after you submitted something, said, this quality just doesn't cut it. Maybe your at-home setup or your technical requirements weren't there. You were framed wrong. The lighting was crappy. The audio was crappy. Maybe you had a distracting background. and your agent just says, you know what? I love you and I love your acting, but I cannot submit this to casting. This is not up to a professional level. You might be thinking that like you're not finding reliable help. Like every time you get an audition, it's, oh my God, who am I going to ask? Is it a family member? Is it a spouse? Is it a neighbor? Is it another actor friend? The challenge sometimes with an actor friend is they have their own shit going on. So all of a sudden you have them booked and you've decided, okay, come over to my place at 10 a.m. and we're going to record this. I'll buy you lunch. And then they get their own audition or they get booked on something and they can't show up. So all of a sudden you thought you had someone reliable and they flaked out last minute. But the bottom line is it's your responsibility to get that audition in. So if you miss it, it's not really on them, it's on you. And you might have just missed the opportunity of a lifetime. You might not have just a go-to spot. You might be thinking like, man, it would just be nice if I had a go-to system or a go-to process, a go-to reader, someone who I knew I could always count on. A lot of things another thought that comes in, a lot of actors are working Joe jobs. So your goal is to work in the industry full time, but that can take some time. So you're holding down another job and you might be really stressed out because you're working all these other hours at your regular job. So you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I'm all tired. I don't have time. You get an audition request, but you got to work 2 double shifts in the next couple of days. So you're like, I don't even have time to do this audition. So you're working hard at your dream, but you're working hard to pay your bills at the same time. And then you don't have the time and energy to put in the effort to actually put forth to your dream role, which is to be an actor in television, film, and theater. So you're being pushed and pulled. Maybe you're just constantly lamenting last minute auditions. Like, why don't I just have enough time? But you work in an industry where time is money, time is of the essence. It's a very last minute thing. So that's not really a concern that you can raise because no one's going to wait for you. The fact of the matter is it's a last minute business and you'll often get last minute auditions. So rather than be the person who complains about them, be the person who figures out how can I get these auditions turned around in a quick, professional, efficient manner so that then all of a sudden you're the problem solver and casting loves you because every time there's a last minute casting where maybe it was a new role or maybe someone dropped out. What's happening now since the pandemic is with COVID testing, a lot of the times actors last minute are coming down with COVID and they can't show up and they got to fill that role within a few hours or same day. So you can seize on those opportunities if you're the person who can get a professional tape in just a few hours. And so what else can I say here? I got a few more notes. What else do we got here? Wasting time editing too. Maybe you're not an editor. So you're just you're like, man, I thought I just had to be an actor. I thought I just had to be a performer, but now I got to be a professional camera person. I got to be a professional editor. Maybe you're spending hours and hours and hours watching YouTube tutorials to figure out how to edit rather than partnering with someone who's already professional so that you can just focus on your craft and focus on your audition and leave all the tech troubles out of there. Maybe you're making all those last minute phone calls, scrambling the night before or the morning of, looking for a friend, looking for a family member. You're spending time dealing with cameras and tech setup and figuring out which card to use and figuring out what level of HD-ness to record in. Are you going to record in 720? Are you going to record in 1080? Are you going to record in 4K? Maybe you're thinking, what does that even mean? Because you're not a camera person. You might be getting to the point where you're at the end of the road where you're like, fuck it. These self-tapes are too annoying. I don't like auditioning. You might be thinking that they take too long, that you don't have the right setup. You might be thinking that your family members are terrible readers. You might be thinking that you're an incredible actor, but you just suck at auditioning. But auditioning is how we get jobs. So you got to fix that thinking. And that means you got to fix your process. You might have had the thought, it's good enough. Oh, that's good enough. It'll have to do. But I want to ask yourself, there's that famous quote from Steve Martin where he says, be so great they can't ignore you. Notice he didn't say, be good enough so that'll do. And they'll say, meh, that's so-so. No, you're in a highly competitive industry where one person wins the role and 500 to 1,000 people might have been submitted to get it, and one horse wins. There's no prize for second place, except that casting might see a great tape and be like, you know what, not for this one, but his tape was so professional, her tape was so great that we'll keep her in mind for the next project or for the next role or another role. But really, this is a race where one horse wins all the prize money and everyone else gets second place. And it's like the game show thing where Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy, first place wins $50,000 and second place gets a set of steak knives, or like the home version of the game. So what else here? Maybe you're asking yourself over and over, am I even doing what casting wants? A lot of actors are thinking like, what do they want? What do they want? If they just tell me what I want some clarity here. But the reality is there is really no they. There's no like president of Hollywood who's saying this is exactly what you need to do. So it's about learning the systems and the processes and learning professional casting and learning the ins and outs of what these productions are looking for. Maybe you're thinking to yourself that you want to quit your day job and you're just on the cusp. You're like, if I could just quit my day job so I could commit full time to acting, and then you could be living the dream. You might also be thinking that you don't have enough time to audition. You might be thinking that you can't spend money on your acting or you can't invest in it. You might be thinking, am I ever going to book that big role? And worst case scenario, you might be thinking, am I actually really cut out to be an actor? Is this the dream for me, or is this just a pie in the sky thing and I need to accept and face reality that I just got to stay in my soul-sucking Joe job for the rest of my life, and I'll be a hobbyist actor, but it's not going to work out professionally for me. You might be there thinking like, maybe today's the day. And if you're watching this right now when you were like, am I going to just quit and throw in the towel? I'm super happy that you're here. You're in the right spot today because we're going to answer these questions. And so I'm going to ask you, why haven't you solved this problem already? You've had these issues. Some of you have had issues with self-tapes for years and years and years. They're not really a new thing. Self-tapes have been around since before the pandemic, but since the pandemic, it's the main way that we submit. And some of you might just be saying that you don't have the time to invest. You might be saying that you don't have the money to invest into professional auditions. Some of you might be blaming your spouse and your family, which is not a good place to go, where you're like, oh, I would have booked this, but my girlfriend or my boyfriend or my kid or my uncle or my neighbor was a crappy reader and it took 4 hours and they sounded terrible behind the camera. But it's just simply not an excuse that you want to use. You might be thinking, oh, when I book the big role and I get paid, that's when I'm going to spend some time and energy and money and invest in my acting career. But that's backwards. You don't expect fire to come out of a furnace without putting fuel into it. So you need to make an investment in yourself, in your career, in your business first to reap those rewards. It would be like going to a casino and playing a slot machine and just pulling on the handle. But you got to pump some quarters into it. You got to put some money into it for the opportunity to get some money out. And it's the same thing in this professional industry here. Professionals invest in themselves. They invest in professional systems and processes. They work with professionals, knowing that the payoff can be 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, and a life-changing, career-changing role. Maybe you might be blaming the fact that you don't know anyone, like you don't know another actor in your geographic location. So you can never get someone to read with you. You don't know the tech. Maybe you just flat out don't believe in yourself. That could be part of it. Maybe you just you have some self-worth issues. You have some self-belief issues, where it's a mindset thing where you're just thinking is all wrong and your self-worth and your self-belief isn't there. You might be self-sabotaging in ways, by procrastinating is one, by waiting to the last minute, by missing deadlines. And ultimately, maybe you just haven't made that decision. You haven't made the decision to step into your dream role, to step into your dream life. We spent a week at Audition Hero talking about stepping into that hero mindset and becoming the hero in your own life and becoming the hero in your own acting career. and the director of your own acting career and stepping up. So for some of you, it's just a matter of making a decision. So that's why we're here this week, is to talk about who Actors Audition Club is for, what it's going to do for you, and to help you make that decision whether or not it is right for you. And then the transformation from that, when you do step up, when you do invest in your audition life, many of you you've invested thousands of dollars in your acting careers by going to television and film school, by going to theater school. You're members of regular weekly or monthly acting studios, and you've invested thousands and thousands of dollars into the craft, into the training, where you're actually a brilliant actor and you're a brilliant performer. But if every time you audition, which is how you get the job, if you're following unprofessional processes and you don't really have that side of things down, then you've invested all this money in yourself and your career, but you're dropping the ball every time you have an at-bat to step up and actually win a role. So the suggestion and the urging for you is invest in the audition side of your life as much as you've invested in the craft and the training. And make no mistake, this is a profession. You need to invest in classes. You need to invest in the craft. You need to learn from experts and pros on what it actually means to be a great actor. But then if you don't pair that with a professional audition system, you've kind of put all that money into yourself, and then you're just constantly going to drop the ball, and you're not going to book those roles because your auditions are going to look unprofessional. But what happens when the transformation happens, specifically our members here at Actors Audition Club, our members have transformed into that audition hero mindset where you're actually excited to get auditions. When you get an email from your agent, you're like, fuck yeah, another huge one. And you know exactly what you need to do. You know when you're going to do it, where you're going to do it. You follow a professional process. You have eliminated stress with your family because you don't have to bug them anymore. So they're just watching you go off and create these brilliant professional auditions without having to be dragged into it. And believe me, they will thank you for that. They're probably sometimes rolling their eyes and being like, how many times do I got to help this guy with his auditions? I'm his wife. I'm not his acting coach. So you can avoid, we might be saving some marriages here if you can separate your relationship from your audition skills. Now, some of you may be married to actors, and that's amazing too. Maybe you've got a perfect spouse for this. They are a professional. That's not who I'm speaking to right now. I'm speaking to the people who don't have a spouse or a family member who is professional in the industry. Your auditions are going to be faster. You're not going to spend an entire morning or an entire afternoon. You're going to spend at most an hour recording those, and that's on the long end of things. You're going to be booking more roles in television, in film, in theater, in video games. If you don't have an agent, you're going to be landing a new agent. You're going to be actually feeling proud of your auditions, where you walk out of the auditions room, or when you click send to your agent, and you actually feel, you know what, that is the best representation of me and my acting where I am right now today. So you can actually wash your hands of it and be like, if you don't cast me, it's okay. What you just saw was the best. What you don't want is, you don't want the reason that you didn't get cast to be something that you had under your control. And there's 1,000 reasons why you might not get cast. You could have a brilliant audition, super professional, fantastic performance, and it just doesn't fall your way. And that's okay. But what you don't want is, you don't want to be thinking, could I have done a better job? Did I just drop the ball and miss a lead role in a series or in a feature that was going to be a game changer and a life changer for me and my family because I saved to the last minute, or I wasn't professional? So all these reasons, you'll also start to feel that last minute auditions are okay. And you actually get excited for that because you start thinking, oh shit, this deadline is tonight. Most actors aren't going to have their shit together in order to record this, so they're going to miss the deadline. But I'm not going to miss the deadline because I'm a professional and I know how to get this done. So you're actually going to relish the opportunity every time. Relish. Every time you get a last minute, you're going to be pumped because you know how to get it done, and you know that that is going to separate you, and you're going to be one of the few that actually gets it in there in time. You're never going to miss another audition because of a vacation. Classic actor thing is, you tell your agent you're going to go on vacation, and you're gone somewhere, you're going to Mexico for 2 weeks, and the second you get there, you land there, you get off the plane, and you got an email from your agent saying, oh, by the way, I know that you weren't going to be available this week, but there's a lead role audition for a brand new pilot or a brand new series, and it's a game changer. And then all of a sudden you're in Mexico wondering, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this in there? Not going to have any more stress or anxiety. You're going to feel relieved. You're going to feel excited. You're always going to feel like you submitted your best. You're going to feel like you're not having any more stresses or tech troubles. And you're going to ultimately feel more professional, more confident, and you're actually going to have more fun. You're going to start feeling like I am actually a TV and film professional. I'm going to feel like I'm organized, like I'm proud of myself. I'm relaxed. You're going to start getting more callbacks. You're going to start getting better relationships with casting directors and with your agents. When you're at a cocktail party and someone asks you, oh, you're an actor? What have I seen you before? You're going to be actually proud to answer that rather than sheepishly saying like, oh, I don't know if you've seen me before. It's that classic actor question is, have I seen you in anything? Have I seen you in anything? Where can I see you? But a lot of actors aren't proud of the fact that they're actors. And some of that is because they haven't stepped into being fully professional and fully owning their audition hero life. Proud to talk to your family, better relationships, more support from your family, more time with your family because you're not spending as much time recording auditions. So yeah, those are some of the reasons. So if any of this is resonating with you right now, and some of these thoughts and feelings that I've been sharing are thoughts and feelings that you have been having, then Actors Audition Club is for you. So I want to move in and talk about exactly what the program is and how it works. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me know if you can see this. Here we go, and stand by. All right, sharing screen. And here we go. I think you can see this. Let me just check that here. Okay, so here is your behind the scenes peek into what's working for actors and our members here at Actors Audition Club. When you enroll in Actors Audition Club, there's 4 main components to the program. Number 1 is our monthly live audition workshops. Each and every month, we can hop on a live call via Zoom or another platform like that. And we talk about specific topics relating to recording your auditions, how to record them, when to record them. We hop on and answer specific Q&A, share resources with each other, and really answer your questions so that you're not feeling like you're a lone wolf in this business anymore, so that you have a community, so that every month you know that you have a go-to place, someone to talk to, someone to get some help, so that month over month, your audition knowledge and your audition professionalism is leveling up and increasing. So that's the first part of the program, is having access to those. We do them normally I think they're going to be scheduled the first Wednesday of every month, but don't worry about timing or scheduling because we always record those. So if you do miss one live, that's okay. You'll have access to the replays. And if because you missed it live, you didn't get to answer your question, you can always ask a question directly in our community group. We can follow up with you directly that way. Second thing is you're going to have access to our audition training library. Over the last several years, we've done about 100 podcast episodes speaking specifically about acting and specifically about how to record professional auditions and what it takes to record winning auditions. And so we're putting together a database where you have access to all of those trainings. So maybe it's something very specific, like you need to get a new agent, how to do that. Maybe you want some tips on how to up-level your home studio. Well, there's a video on that. Maybe you want to look up how to get more auditions or how to improve your audition technique or anything very specific. You can go into that database to our training archives, and you can watch hours and hours and hours and hours of those videos. And that information is culmination of my 13 years experience in the business, as well as interviews with other actors who are members and other television and film professionals, including casting directors and agents, so that you can learn and just have a constant ongoing source of learning. Number 3 is our private members community. This is something that is really undervalued, which is really priceless, is an international community of like-minded, growth-minded actors who are willing to share their secrets, share their processes, share their successes, share their resources. So you're having a down week or a down day, you can pop into the Facebook group and ask a question of all the members. So not only are you leveraging my expertise and the expertise of our session directors, but the entire community. And we have people in the community who are booking lead roles in Hollywood blockbusters and booking lead roles in new features, new series, and new pilots. And their perspective and their information that they can share with you is so valuable, so that you can be a part of a community and, again, feel like you're not a lone wolf, that you're not in this business alone. And let me just scroll up here so you can see this. And the final thing here, number 4, is you will have access to book audition sessions as a member of Actors Audition Club. You can book those 7 days a week, generally anytime between 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. And we are expanding those hours to include other time zones. And as a member, you're going to save up to 30% off our regular audition session investment. So the rates that you'll get are the best possible rates that you could possibly have, so that as soon as you have an audition, you know exactly how to book it, where to book it, when to book it. I like to think of this as your professional audition concierge service. So really on demand, every time you get an audition, you just hop onto the website, you book your audition session, you choose your session director, male, female, whatever you like, you pick your time based on their availability and your availability, and you can connect with them anywhere in the world via Zoom, so that you have a professional reader. We spend typically about 45 minutes on camera, and then we allow about 15 minutes for editing. The session director edits it together with the slate, names the file, and then transfers the file to you, to your agent, to casting, wherever it needs to go. So the only thing that you need to do as an actor, as a member of Actors Audition Club, is show up being fully prepped with strong choices, being fully present in the moment, making those strong choices, being ready to play. But you don't have to worry about camera. You don't have to worry about lighting. You don't have to worry about editing and all the tech troubles that go along with that. And when you're done your audition, you walk away knowing that 15, 20 minutes later, your session director is going to have transferred that file, so that your agent is happy, so that your casting director is happy, so that you're going to improve your relationship with your agent, and also those casting directors seeing the professional auditions that you're submitting. They're going to continue to ask you to tape and submit, and that's going to even grow more opportunities for you. So anytime you need help with an audition, boom, hop on the website 7 days a week, and you can connect with a session director from anywhere in the world. So it doesn't matter where you're watching from, where you live. You don't have to be in a major TV and film market. As long as you have an internet connection, you're going to be okay. Now, what else can I tell you here? I should, let me just scroll up a little bit. Now, let's talk exactly about the investment here to get enrolled. We only do this enrollment a couple times per year for Actors Audition Club, and that's because we like to have a new member enrollment doors open period, and then we focus our time on our new members. So we help them get onboarded into the Audition Club. We help make sure that they understand exactly how everything works and welcome them into the community, and we really spend time working with them to up-level their audition process. I'm just going to scroll past these myths. You can see all of this on the website as well. I'll drop the enrollment link. I think it's in the comments already. It's laughingvikings.com/AAC. laughingvikings.com/AAC is how you get enrolled. So here we go. I believe you can see that there. Yes. So the investment to get enrolled in Actors Audition Club, you have two choices. You can get enrolled, like a lot of our members are monthly members, where that investment is $49 a month. And again, that gets you access to the monthly live audition workshops, gets you full access to the audition training video library, gets you access to the private members community where you can collaborate and connect with other actors around the world. And every time you book an audition session, you're going to save up to 30% as a member, and you can do that 7 days a week. So the one option is $49 a month, or a lot of members like to go with the annual, where you can just re-enroll annually. And if you choose the annual option, when you do that, you're going to save 30% off the monthly. And the annual is $395. So you can go $49 a month if that's the way you like it. But if you're a money saver and you like to make the smart investment, then you can do 33% off and do that annually, which is $395. So that is the investment. And I just want to challenge everyone, really think, don't get focused on the 49 or the 395. I want you to focus on the transformation that being involved in a professional audition community is going to do for you. If you learn something in one of those audition sessions or one of those workshops that helps you book one role, you're going to make and earn back that investment in one shot, if not more, like tenfold. You book one big commercial, 5 figures. You book a lead role, you book a series regular, a recurring. That's going to be 5 figures, 6 figures, potentially 7 figures, and a life changer for you. So really think of that transformation. Think of the time and energy and money that you save from not having to spend hours and hours and hours doing it yourself. And ultimately just the confidence and returning to that fun and returning to that idea of play where this isn't stressful anymore. What's the cost of your own sanity? If you're going crazy right now and you're on the verge of quitting this acting game because auditions are stressful, then this is an opportunity for you to change that by making a small investment in yourself. And the bigger thing is, what's the cost of missing out? Like, there's no better time to be an actor right now. There are more streaming platforms, there are more productions, more money going into television and film and streaming shows. Video game business is booming as well. Those are great opportunities for actors. Theater is back now as well. So there's more opportunities to work as an actor than ever before. And what we like to remind people is you're only one audition away from a life-changing role. No matter where you are in your career, you've been doing this for 30 years or you're brand new, the next opportunity you get could be the one that, if you prepare properly and submit a professional audition, you may get a call back, you may book that role. And again, that's 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures. So focus on what you may be losing by submitting less than professional auditions, and ask yourself, how long can that go on? If you're getting auditions, but you're kind of half-assing it and you're saying, oh, well, this is good enough, this will have to do. And sometimes your agent isn't submitting those auditions because the professionalism isn't there. Someday, worst case, your agent may drop you. Casting directors may stop seeing you because they're just not seeing the quality that they need. And worst case scenario, you may be deciding, like, you know what, I'm not cut out for this. But you are cut out for this because when you were a kid, you could play make-believe, you enjoyed playing, you had an imagination, and you decided, hey, I want to be a professional actor and I want to invest my time and energy and money into this business so that I can live the life of my dreams and have the career of my dreams and live that classic life where people say, when you're if you enjoy and love what you do, you never really work a day in your life. So that's what I really want for you. But I want to tell you, there's more. The classic, but wait, there's more. Something we're doing today only. We've got a fast acting bonus. Hopefully you can still see my screen here. Yeah, there it is. That's great. Fast acting bonus for those members who get enrolled today on this first day of our launch, card open day, doors open day. We're going to throw in a fast acting bonus just for you today only. This bonus expires tonight at midnight. But if you get on board and join, whether it's monthly or annually today, you're going to receive your first audition session free. That's a value of $89. So right away, your next audition that you get from your agent or the next audition you find yourself, you're able to connect with a session director, no matter where you are in the world, and we'll help you submit a professional audition. So right away, to guarantee that you get started the right way, you get that first audition free when you join today. Also, for everyone who joins, whether you join today, tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday, remember the doors close Thursday, so you have between now and midnight on Thursday to get enrolled. But on top of that fast acting bonus, you are going to get a few other bonuses. New member bonus number 1 is our home studio buyer's guide. A lot of people feel they need a home studio makeover, but they're waffling and procrastinating on what gear do I need, what equipment. You're spending hours and hours on YouTube tutorials and comparisons and making sure that, hey, Brennan, making sure that you got what you need. But some of you may have been doing that for months and months and months. So the time is just to make a decision and get the gear you need. So we put together a package where every member who enrolls, you're going to get access to our package that shows you, here are the things that we think you can use to have your own professional home studio. And all of the product recommendations are things that we use in our studio. And you're going to have access to all those. All of the links are there so that within a few clicks, if you're brand new and you don't have a home studio yet, once you enroll in Actors Audition Club, after a few clicks, you can order all those and have those shipped to your house within a few days. So do not worry if you don't have a home studio set up. You're not going to have to worry about that. We got all the recos for you. Our new member bonus number 2 is how to find a new agent masterclass. So if you're someone who's looking for new agent representation, it's not a problem. We're going to offer this virtual training to you, and we'll connect with you again, most likely via Zoom. And if you don't have an agent, we're going to talk about the best practices to get an agent, talk about what you need to put together so that when you do land a meeting, you present yourself as a professional and don't waste the agent's time. If you already have an agent and you're looking to make a change, we can talk to you about how to do that appropriately and professionally as well. And that's something that we're going to be offering to all the new members. The date hasn't been set yet, but once we have this new cohort of enrollments, we'll set a date. You can join us live. And if you don't make the live masterclass, the replay will be there for you as well. And if you need to follow up with questions, we'll certainly answer those. And the value of that new member bonus, that agent masterclass, is $197. And new member bonus number 3 is our audition checklist. Remember that professionals follow systems, professionals follow processes. You never met a doctor, surgeon, or a pilot or an architect who just randomly and haphazardly did things. They follow a system and a checklist because they're professionals, which means you need to do that as an audition professional as well. So you can take the guesswork out of your audition process. No more winging it. Follow something repeatable, and you'll get access to that audition checklist, which then you can customize and adjust to your specific needs. New member bonus number 4 as well. I talked about the importance of classes. You need to be taking acting classes, especially if you've never have. You need to be really thinking about that. So we're going to give you access. Our mentor, Tom Todoroff, is a brilliant actor, coach, and director. They run a weekly Zoom session with actors from all around the world. And you can join one of those acting workshops with Tom for free. Each one of those workshops is 3 classes in one. You get a voice and speech class, you get a text analysis class, and then you get scene and monologue study with Tom. And just one of those classes, that's a value of $97, and we'll hook you up with that. We'll give you the link on how to register so that you can audit that first one for free. New member bonus number 5 is we got to hook up with a company called Wicked Tree Creative, and they do demo reels. So if you have some footage and you're looking to put together a demo reel, or maybe you don't have any footage and you're looking to get help to design and create a demo reel, Wicked Tree has decided to offer $150 off their standard demo reel packages so that you can attract the best agents and cast directors and producers with a special demo reel package. And one of the great things about it is they offer sort of a yearly subscription where throughout the entire year, when you get new footage, Adam from Wicked Tree will swap in a new scene for you. So you don't have to worry about waiting to get that next clip. You can just get started with what you have now. And then 6 months later, when you get a new clip from that thing that you just shot, give Adam shoot him an email and he'll plug that into your new demo reel. So that's got a value of $150. Now, some of you right now, after all this, maybe you're thinking this is for you. Maybe you understand how this is going to help you. You understand that to be a professional, you got to step up, and to be an actor, to win gigs, you have to audition. And you understand in theory how this all works, but maybe there's some fear. Maybe you're just like, what if this isn't for me? I'm not sure about this Lars guy. I'm brand new to this. And like anything, it's a fear of making a decision, fear of making a commitment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that for you right now. And I'm just going to remind you that all of the risk is on us. We've got a no risk 30-day money back guarantee. So when you enroll today, you're going to get the new fast acting bonus of the first audition session free. Then you're going to get those 5 new member bonuses. And anytime in those 30 days, if you decide this isn't for you, you decide that this isn't what I said it was, you don't vibe with us, or you just don't like how we do things, no harm, no foul. You just let us know anytime in the next 30 days. We'll give you a full refund of either the month's investment if you went with monthly, or the annual investment if you went with annually. So you take us for a test drive, get a feel for the community in the first 30 days. I want to relieve you of any of that risk. There's absolutely no risk in doing this. The only thing that you can do is gain in better auditions, more professional auditions, and ultimately more roles. Again, 30-day money back guarantee. So we take all the risk out of things. Also, just a reminder, this is the week to do it. So you can choose to enroll or not to enroll, but this is the week to do it. Come midnight on Thursday, the doors will be closed. And why do we do that? Because we want to do one big enrollment with new members, and then we're going to spend the next several months working specifically with those members, getting them onboarded into Actors Audition Club, spending time working with them and coaching them and working with them on their audition process, and helping them up-level their entire audition game. So you've got till Thursday at midnight to do that. Today's fast acting bonus of the first audition session free, that is just today. So make the decision. Decide to invest in your career or not. But what I encourage you to is, don't wait on this. To not make a decision is to make a decision, if you've heard that before. So this is the week to do it. If you've been on the fence for a while and you've been hearing about Actors Audition Club for the last few years and seeing our members and seeing their success, this is the week to do it. Now, I want to just share some quick testimonials with you and some of our success stories. So I'm going to just scroll down. Where am I going to go? I'm going to scroll up here. I want to introduce you first to, this is what actors and agents are saying about this extraordinary community. I want to introduce you to Chris Sandiford. Chris was a series regular on What We Do in the Shadows. He's a lead in the new blockbuster feature Moonfall, and also he's an ensemble lead in the new sitcom starring Melissa McCarthy called God's Favorite Idiot. And Chris has been a member with us now for several years. So I'm going to play his video here. Thank you.
It's a great thing. Yeah. I remember, when did I move to Toronto? 4 years ago, just 4.5 years ago, I'd say. And I was always scrambling to put a tape together. And, if you have a studio or whatever at your house, that's fine. It's just, I was living by myself and I didn't have like a wall or whatever to put things up on. And it's tough to count on just a friend. And it is weird, as much as I'm sitting here saying, make it fun for yourself and just do it for yourself. You should be able to act in front of anybody, turn the spigot on and off or whatever. But it's also good to do everything you can to make the experience just easier to get into. So for me, literally, I think it was Jackie Pirico that recommended you guys to me like ages ago. Like, oh yeah, I always go and have a tape, or some people, they have a certain level of tape that they will tape for. If that makes sense, that they'll go to a facility for. And at the beginning, I was doing that. Like I was going to you if it was like, okay, I think I just don't see a friend being able to camera operate and do this at the same time. Now, I'm here all the time. I'm putting every tape down with you guys just because it's just, again, it's getting that out off of my plate. And the more I can focus on just the fun and literally the fun of it, the more I can offset to you guys and or Laughing Vikings to take care of like the technical stuff. That's just more random access memory that I have now to enjoy myself. And I mean, how good is it that I can you have no idea what a weight off my shoulders it is, Brandon. Like the other day, friggin', you were going to send me you're going to send me a link, or you'll send it up to whoever it is it needs to go to. And I leave that room, that place on Queen Street, and it's done. I consider the matter done. It's hugely a valuable thing. Like even when I was in Sydney, I had to I found people, but it was like, because I was used to coming to you guys, I was like, no, I can't do this at my hotel or my Airbnb or whatever it is. No, it's been truly invaluable. Before Laughing Vikings, it was, my little flat in Parkdale where I had to do it with the sun, which is not reasonable because, in the winter, that's crazy. But now it's like, it's great. How many times a week am I with you guys? 3-4 times a week. It's like,
probably, yeah.
I can't picture doing this any other way, truly. You guys have been, you've changed my lives. There you go. How's that for
We wouldn't want it any other way, Chris. We wouldn't want it any other way.
And you guys are great. And you guys, again, you make it fun. And I know that I can be really silly. And I don't, whatever. It is, sometimes acting can be embarrassing. It's quite naked. It's quite, you share a lot about yourself.
Vulnerable, yeah.
It's very vulnerable and whatever. And sure, you should be able to do that in front of anybody and be able to reproduce that in front of everybody. But, again, anything you can do to make it easier to get to those places. And you guys specifically, in terms of now talking about the personalities behind, the company, it's just very fun to see you guys and work with you. And you guys usually have a bunch of good ideas. So it doesn't just stop at the technical spots. It's also just fun to come and tape.
Yeah, it's like home field advantage. I always wanted it to be like a clubhouse, like a basketball player might have his court in the back or his gym, and that's his workout where he goes into the zone, and here you got yours. So
yeah, truly
amazing.
Yeah, that room, we make a lot of magic in there. We make a lot of the opposite of magic too, but but you know what? You got to take a lot of swings if you want to hit a couple of times.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a good chunk of change coming out of that room too, with all these bookings, whether it's TV, film, commercials, feature films, and
it's worth it if you book one thing. If you go every tape and you book one of them, it's worth it, man. Because then some of that you got to invest back into my business, which is this, and then. Yeah, man, I don't ever question it. Truly, it's an easy decision.
Chris Sandiford, everyone. We love Chris. Make sure to check him out on Netflix. You can stream God's Favorite Idiots. He's one of the ensemble leads with Melissa McCarthy in that show. Super funny show. I'm going to scroll down. I want to introduce you to Jareen Ignatius. Some of you might recognize her from our Audition Hero contest. And I'm going to just roll the clip.
Hello, this is Jareen Ignatius, and this is my story of inspiration. So prior to working as an actor full-time here at home in Canada, I was working as an actor outside the country. After the pandemic broke out, I came back home and I was anxiety stricken. There was a lot of worries about the future. I mean, the entire world was stuck at one point, right? I wasn't alone. So after being low-key for some time, I decided two things mainly. One, I wanted to stay back home and work as an actor full-time, not leaving the country anymore. Second, I wanted to start working on my craft, really put myself through training, start learning as much as I can. Because as a learner, or when you're learning, there's not much commitment, right? The people are not going to judge you. So that put me at ease a bit. And I was going crazy at that. I was taking classes from various parts of the world. I was working on my voice. I was working on my body. I was doing dialect work. English is my second language. So I had to do some accent reduction work. And I started training myself in General American dialect as well. Till this day, I continue all this. After a year, I started applying for the agencies. And I got represented by Premier Artists Management. Yay! So now my second phase of acting career started with auditioning, real professional auditioning. I didn't want to mess up my audition, right? I need to make a good impression among the casting directors. I really have to give my 100% in every audition that I do, regardless of whether I book them or not. That's when I started collaborating with Laughing Vikings. Seriously, I don't know what would I have done without them. It's like the universe knows exactly what I needed in every part of my life. It was such a pleasure working with them. The one thing I like the most about Laughing Vikings is that They treat my audition as if their own audition, whoever is helping me, but treat my audition as his or her own audition. There's a lot of commitment. There's a lot of details they put in. There's a lot of care in providing that help. It didn't feel like that I was getting a service from someone. It was more like with your buddies, you're brainstorming your ideas and they're helping you. That's kind of a feel I get every time I audition with Laughing Vikings. They were part of my success this far. They were there with me from day one, and I'm sure they'll continue to be with me going forward. I really want to express my gratitude towards their support. It's like a community, and we do need this community. Once again, thank you so much.
Jareen Ignatius, everyone. We absolutely love Jareen. Fun fact about Jareen is we've never met her in person. We've helped her with dozens and dozens of auditions, but she lives in a small town, so we connect with her via Zoom, and we've helped her audition for television, film, commercials, and we've helped her book roles. And as she mentioned, she recently landed a new agent as well. So congratulations, Jareen. She was also our runner-up in our recent Audition Hero contest. Next, I want to introduce you to another one of our favorites. He's in here we help him on a regular basis pretty much every week. This is Phil Lutzi. You might recognize him. He had a recurring role in Bad Blood. You've seen him in New Eden and also Terrific Women. And Phil's also a fantastic stand-up comic and theater actor as well. So here's Phil. Phil, how long have you been coming to Laughing Vikings now? When did we meet? I think that's kind of how we met, just briefly before that, I think, at a stand-up show.
Yeah, I remember seeing your name for the longest time, and then meeting you at a show, and then I started coming to Laughing Vikings because hello, self-tapes, you need them. It's a fun place to do fun auditions because sometimes you're gonna get the police captain, and sometimes you're gonna get a flamboyant Latino bartender, and it's good to just fuck around. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Not all actors invest in somewhere to do their self-tapes. So what is it that you has found helpful by doing your tapes here? And now you do a lot by Zoom too. So that's a lot different.
It is very different. I mean, I like it because, like I said, you build a rapport and then you have a way of doing things. It's like, okay, this is what I need to do. And then jamming, doing a few rehearsals, getting ideas like, how should we start the scene? Or maybe, hey, maybe try something where you get an opportunity to show more of your character by doing something, or having that idea. You don't get a chance to do that usually in a real audition, so you might as well take advantage of this strange opportunity we have to experiment. And because we get a lot of chances to do it, it gets better and more fun. You guys always make great suggestions about things to do, either to get into the scene or during, and how to end a scene, for example, things that I hadn't considered really before, oh yeah, maybe I should leave with a button because, the scene is kind of just left, and yeah, we could fade out, but what if something telling of the character you are comes through? Or it's just fun. It's just fun to play.
Right. Yeah, I know that. I think we need to give a shout out to one of our acting coaches, is Tom Todoroff, the conservatory. I've been a member there doing weekly Zoom sessions, and that's all. The whole philosophy is jamming your performances and auditions with as many creative choices as possible. So just painting with as many colors as possible. Nothing is only drama or only comedy. Dramatic stuff has fun moments, and comedy has dramatic moments to it. So, and the moment before, and the first impressions and last looks, I think all of that stuff has really been drilled into me from Todoroff's class. And it's just also a language where we're talking about guideposts, and we're talking about a certain language that you sort of get used to, I think, when we're talking to you, so that when we make a suggestion like, oh, make this more of a discovery, or find an opposite there, that kind of lingo, I think, really helps too. I don't know about what you can add to that, Brandon.
No, you hit the nail on the head, Lars. That's what we try and do. Especially the moment before. I think the moment before and relationship, especially for auditions, really enhance the performance for your self-tape and or audition. Just because we want to be invited into the character's life. We don't want to just be like, hey, there you go, ah! Like that's not appealing. Right. Like already,
that's what I did this afternoon.
Well, what are you talking about? You invited them in. Yeah. That's why we did this. That's why we did the spin. That's why we had the thing. Yeah, exactly. We had the thing to invite them in, to get them into the performance, to get them to see this character the way you want to portray it. And like, that's why we add props, add something, just so that you have more to do. You have more to play.
We always want to make sure that if we're offering up creative suggestions and ideas, that hopefully the idea is always if someone's tape or their idea for the scene, what they were thinking was here, that we give them a few more things to bring it up to here, so that you're feeling with that collaboration and some outside eyes and a little outside direction, that you sort of up leveled your performance and offered up something a little more creative than if it just had been something you did by yourself. Or certainly the thing that I think a huge trap is anyone who's still doing it with a non-actor family member must just be a nightmare for them to deal with someone who's not used to taking words off the page or having to.
Yeah, and it's not fair to them either. You know, I've done it before, and it's like, ugh.
Phil Luzzi, everyone. We love Phil. He's getting some big auditions for some big projects. So congrats, Phil, on everything that you've accomplished. Now I want to introduce you to another one of our favorites here. This is Chris Robinson, and Chris has appeared on The Boys, Working Moms, and he's a series lead in a new show on Crave called Pillow Talk. Also, he's an amazing stand-up comic as well, and he's done all the festivals and Just for Laughs. So here's a few words from Chris on his success.
Well, before I was still working a day job and everything like that while trying to do auditions and things like that. So since the pandemic, whenever I get an audition, I have way more time to actually just put into it, more efforts put into it, which is great. And then, I don't know, doing it at home or at a studio is just way more relaxing and more comfortable and more conducive to how I like to work, you know? And so I feel like I've been getting way more response since this than, you know, going into live auditions. Because I just get two in my head sometimes, you know, like I don't know what it is. I just, you know, when someone's sitting there and they're just like, I don't know what it is. Like I try and be comfortable as I can, but sometimes you can't do it. But yeah, with working with you guys, it's been sick, man. Brandon's like, I legit thought he was like an acting coach. Like I remember like working with him just because he gives me so many amazing suggestions and like always takes it to another level, you know. I always say that he adds the salt to the dish, you know. It's like,
thank you.
Salt, it's like you can have the best dish that you have and be amazing, but you're like, oh, but it's missing salt. This is trash, you know.
That was Chris Robinson, and another one of our regulars here. He's in here. We help him with auditions every single week. Is Adam Daniel Mazet, who was also the winner of our Actors Audition Hero contest recently. He's in a new feature, a World War II period piece that's coming out called The Ace and the Scout. He's also in Execution Triptych and Ithsmiths. Ithsmith. I can't even say that word. Ithsmith. Here's Adam.
Hey Vikings, Lars, BK Broiler, and the rest of the Vikings coaches. I'm Adam Daniel Mazet. I've been coming to the Vikings Audition Club for the last going on 3 years. It's been tough during the COVID era, although I've probably made some of my best progress during these sort of unusual times. I also want to dedicate this small hosanna, this grab ass, to my father, Peter Mazet, who passed away on New Year's Day, January the 1st, 2022, who himself was a very cinematic individual. My dad was in retail for like 50 years. I used to watch him go into characters and put on accents and stuff like that when he was dealing with his clientele, which is, I suppose, where I get some of my shenanigans and my antics and my ability to do accents and things from. Henry Marsh, who was an American sprinter, wrote this book called The Breakthrough Factor, which I read back in my university days in McGill in Montreal. And he talks about this idea of incremental improvement, which means that, you know, if he would have 2 heats, if he would finish at a better time in the subsequent heat than in the previous heat, even if he didn't win the race, he was making improvement. And eventually he competed in 76, 84, and 88 in Montreal, Los Angeles, and Seoul. And he ended up winning a lot of gold medals based off of that approach. I'd have to say that's the kind of approach that I take when I work at the Laughing Vikings. Every time I go into an audition session, I always want to do better than the previous time. I want to get as perfect as possible, if I can use that word. I mean, obviously, failure is a great part of getting better as an actor and in honing your craft. But I just love getting in there, stepping into the box, having that at bat, and just kind of like doing the absolute best that I can, leaving everything that I can at the studio. I love coming into the studio, even though I could do a lot of these things at, you know, at my place here. I just love that camaraderie. I love that coaching. Brendan and Lars, who I do a lot of tapes with, they always know the right thing to say, and they couch it in the right language, and they give it a framework, and they give it terminology so that it can kind of anchor itself in your brain. They really make you feel like you're doing your best work. They really make you feel like this is the job that you can get. And they really want to see the success of all the actors that walk in through those doors. It's not just about taking your money and running, so to speak. It's about actually seeing you book big gigs and jobs and getting better and getting a recurring role. I mean, Laughing Vikings will be the place there where I get my recurring role. It is going to happen within those doors on Queen Street East. It is going to happen there, and I can't wait for that to happen. That is going to happen this year in 2022. I vowed to do it this year. Thanks, Lars Broiler, for always being in my corner, especially during these very difficult times in my life. I can't wait to do more audition sessions. I was even going to come in today when I'm recording this, but unfortunately I have some other plans. And thank you so much for being who you guys are.
Adam Daniel Mose, congrats. He was our Audition Hero Grand Champion. This year he won a full annual membership and 10 free audition sessions for being our Audition Hero of 2022. And I want to just switch it up here. I want to introduce you to Carolyn Sterling. She's an agent and manager with Grand Wave Entertainment. She actually represents a lot of our clients. Chris Robinson, Phil Lutzi, who you saw as well, and actually someone who's in the studio right now, Nitish Sakuja, who's also an actor and fantastic stand-up comedian. She represents a lot of the comedians and a lot of our clients here. And this is some words from Carolyn on the importance of self-tapes.
Something that the pandemic has certainly brought to light is how important it is to have your own setup or to have a resource that can assist you with those self-tapes, you know, places like Laughing Viking and other self-tape studios. So I would say the importance of self-tape auditions now is fundamental. It can't be avoided. You know, casting will accept a tape that's done on your cell phone, but you have to try to make it look as professional as possible. And that means good lighting, that means a blank background, that means good sound. And, you know, whether that means trying to find a brief moment in time when the next door neighbor's baby is not crying, or, you know, this has been the challenge. You want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean, this has been the challenge for so many of our clients, is finding quiet while doing these self-tapes in the middle of a busy downtown. I mean, you're talking about roommates, you're talking about construction happening on the street right outside your door. You're talking about your, you know, my kid doesn't go to bed until 7 o'clock at night, so I can't get you that tape until 9 o'clock. Like that kind of stuff, you know, has been really challenging for people. You know, we try to accommodate as best as possible. But I would say in terms of doing your own tape at home, fundamentally, good light, good sound, and a good reader. You know, I know that casting accepts self-recorded, you know, my own voice and stuff, but there's just not, you can't match having that interaction with another person. I think it truly helps your performance if you have somebody that you're bouncing off of.
Right. Yeah. It brings the script off the page, and it brings the characters and the scenes to life versus being a very robotic read, or often it is a family member or a close friend. And if they're a non-actor, it can take double or triple the amount of time just because they have to keep doing retakes, or just at the end, obviously the reader is not the important person. The actor on screen is the important person, but you can't help but hear the other person. And if they're butchering their lines or they're really slow and choppy, it's hard for, I'm sure it's hard for casting to get into that tape and to feel good about it.
Oh, totally. And I mean, look, at the beginning of the pandemic, when casting was accepting tapes, you know, people were working with what they had. We didn't quite understand, you know, how to do Zoom auditions yet. We didn't, you know, none of that. So people were just like using their roommates or using their family members or like using their moms, you know. I've received some quite adorable tapes of like, you know, 60, 70-year-old parents reading the roles of kids and reading the roles of love interests and, you know, hearing from clients being like, that was the most awkward self-tape I've ever had to do. Like, so, you know, it's been a challenging year, I think, for sure. But I would say the good thing that's come out of it is it's shown people that they can sort of take the reins on this element, this aspect of their career. You can be in control of your audition and submit what you want casting to see. At the end of the day, you know, is casting going to cast you from, you know, an iPhone audition that's not centered, that's in the dark? I can't really hear you because you know, the sound was off or whatever, or there's a jackhammer happening outside, you know, that kind of stuff. That fundamentally is what you have to be considering, that the source, who's going to review this.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of it comes down to first impressions too, is regardless of the total performance, if the first impression is, oh, this seems like an unprofessional tape. And I'm sure casting, I mean, hopefully they watch most of them from start to finish, but I'm sure based on time, they realize a few seconds in, this is not quite cutting it. And then they move on to the next one potentially. So it's those first impressions. And we have a ton of people that come here that, like you say, they love self-tapes because now they do have the control. They have the extra time to really perfect it and craft it and make sure it's the take they want. Whereas the usual in-person auditions, you walk in, you get one take, maybe if you get lucky, you get a retake. And you might already know in your head, be like, oh, that wasn't the one. And then it's okay, thanks. And then you're out the door, you know, after traveling an hour and a half across the city.
Oh yeah, I traveled halfway across the city to like spend 5 minutes with somebody. I think, you know, the nerves too of doing in person, much can be alleviated when they're able to prepare this self-tape. And, you know, especially if you have several days to a week to do it, you know, bless, that's the best.
Have you ever had tapes that come in where you have to tell a client, because of quality or because of a reader or anything like that, that I am not going to submit this, we need you to retake this and take another crack at it?
Of course. I mean, this is part of the reason why, you know, I encourage, you know, the clients to send it to me rather than have them just upload it to casting themselves, because it's good to have that, you know, buffer, somebody to review it. And not just because, you know, obviously I'm very interested in how people are progressing and what their performance is, but I mean, there's been a few times where, you know, a client has, you know, flubbed a line at the beginning of the scene and started over, but like been like, you know, and then had to start over. I'm like, well, we can't send this. You know, little things like that. But you know, having bigger conversations about, you know, I think you missed the mark. This wasn't quite hitting the comedy notes that I think this particular production is looking for. You know, how about you go back and try it again, throw in a little improv, see if you can like make it your own voice. You know, notes like that. It's like, oh, remember, this is a Hallmark MOW. You don't need to take it quite so seriously. It's supposed to be fun, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I disagree. I think you should take Hallmark as seriously as possible.
All right. That was Carolyn Sterling here. I'm going to stop my share. One other thing I just want to let everyone know, those were a handful of video testimonials, but if you hop onto Google, type Laughing Vikings into Google, and you'll see that we've got right now, I believe it's 82 5-star reviews from actors that we've worked with. So you can read some of their feedback that they've given our session directors. Once again, in order to get enrolled, go to laughingvikings.com/AAC for Actors Audition Club, laughingvikings.com/AAC.
To take advantage of that fast acting bonus, everyone who gets enrolled today before midnight Pacific time will also get that fast acting bonus of your first audition session free with a value of $89. Plus, you'll get the 5 other bonuses for that all new members receive. But you go to that link, laughingvikings.com/AAC. Now, our wish and our mission here, what we do at Actors Audition Club is we help professional actors shoot and submit winning auditions without the stress and anxiety or tech troubles, without having to bug your family and friends, so that ultimately you as the actor can just focus on your craft and eventually book more roles in television and film, and step into your dream role in your career, your dream life for you and your family. So we highly encourage that you hop on board. The doors are only open this week. You've got till Thursday at midnight Pacific time to get enrolled. Then we close the doors and we focus on our new cohort of new members and help them with their auditions until we do it again next year. So now is the time if you're looking to level up your auditions and you're looking to step into that dream role. Our mission at Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club is to uplift, inspire, and empower a global audience of 1 billion people by helping actors and comedians share their stories via TV, film, and live performances. And we do that one audition at a time here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club. So I appreciate you guys taking the time today. I actually got to pop off. I ran a little over today. And Brandon Knox, one of our amazing session directors, he's about to run a session with Nitish Sakuja. I think he's recording an audition for a commercial and maybe also a role in a feature film. So I got to pop off. Feel free to ask more questions in the Facebook group if you do have more questions. If you don't have any more questions, get enrolled today. Remember, all the risk has been removed. We do the 30-day no risk guarantee. So if you find anywhere in the next 30 days after working with us that this for some reason isn't for you, then you can ask for your full refund, no questions asked, whether you do the monthly or the annually, and we'll get that back to you. No harm, no foul. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for enjoying this past week of Actors Audition Club, the Audition Hero Training Series. And for those of you who are looking to up-level your audition game, then hop on board. You can get enrolled before midnight tonight for that free audition session. And it is our wish to you that you book that dream role and step into your dream life and really up-level your own career and your own life for you and your family. And you can do that one step at a time. Remember that you're only one audition and one opportunity away from your life changing. And there's never been a better time to be an actor than right now. There's more productions shooting than ever before. So we'll see you on the inside of Actors Audition Club. I'm Lars on behalf of Brandon and Lucy and Amy and all our clients and all our members worldwide. We love you guys. We love actors. And yeah, take that next step. Be bold. Invest in your dreams, invest in your career, and take your life and your career to the next level. All right. We'll see you on the flip side.